Darius Colleton stopped at the Mason Creek gas station for a soda after basketball practice, unaware that his ordinary night was about to explode into violence. Two white officers pulled up, their suspicion already loaded and ready to fire. To them, Darius was a threat in brown skin, a target to dominate, not a 16-year-old kid trying to get home. Their voices rose, their tempers snapped, and soon the pavement was stained with fear and humiliation. But what they didn't know was who they had touched: his mother, FBI Special Agent Maya Collenton. And when she arrived, every badge in sight froze. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you are watching from, and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. The humid Georgia air clung like a wet blanket as Darius Collinson pushed open the glass door of Bright Mart gas station. The bell chimed softly, and the cool blast of air conditioning hit his face. His basketball jersey stuck to his back, still damp from practice. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead, casting a harsh glow across the empty aisles. "Evening, Mr. Jennings," Darius called out, nodding to the older man behind the counter. Carl Jennings looked up from his newspaper and gave a tired smile. "How was practice, son?" Carl asked, folding his paper. "Good. Coach says I might start next game." Darius headed toward the drink coolers, his sneakers squeaking against the linoleum floor. He pulled out his phone and typed a quick message to his mom. "Be home in 10. Want anything?" The cooler's glass door fogged up as he opened it, reaching for a Sprite. His phone buzzed. Maya had replied, "Just you, safe and sound." Darius smiled, grabbing a bag of chips from the rack. He was halfway to the counter when red and blue lights suddenly flashed through the store windows, painting the walls in alternating colors. Two police cruisers pulled into the parking lot, tires crunching on gravel. Darius felt his stomach tighten, an instinctive reaction his mother had warned him about. Keep calm, be polite, remember your rights. The store's bell chimed again as Deputy Kyle Drennan strutted in, followed by Officer Rohr. Drennan's hand rested on his holster, his face twisted in what looked like anticipation rather than concern. "Got a report of a robbery few blocks over," Drennan announced, his eyes fixing on Darius. "Suspect's a young black male, about 6 feet." His lips curled into a smirk. "Well, what do we have here?" Darius's heart pounded, but he kept his voice steady. "I'm just getting a drink, sir. Coming from basketball practice." "Sure you are, boy." Drennan circled him like a shark. "Empty your pockets." "I haven't done anything wrong," Darius said softly, still clutching his unopened Sprite and chips. "I'm a regular here. Ask Mr. Jennings." Carl shifted behind the counter, clearing his throat. "Officers, the kid's fine. He comes in here all the time after practice." Drennan ignored him. "I said empty your pockets now." Officer Rohr moved to block the door, his face a mask of forced authority, hiding obvious nervousness. With trembling hands, Darius placed his items on a nearby shelf and pulled out his pockets. "Phone, wallet, basketball keychain." "See nothing, sir." "Oh, you think you smart." Drennan grabbed Darius's arm. "Outside, now." "Wait, please." Darius started, but Drennan was already dragging him toward the door. "Mr. Jennings, call my mom, please." The night air hit him like a wall as they shoved him outside. Drennan slammed him against the police car's hood, pressing his face against the warm metal. "Spread 'em." "I'm not resisting," Darius said, his voice cracking. "Please, I haven't done anything wrong." A small crowd had begun to gather. Angela Ruiz, still in her nursing scrubs from her hospital shift, pulled out her phone and started recording. Her hands shook with anger as she captured every moment. "Stop moving," Drennan shouted, though Darius was perfectly still. "I'm not." Darius's words were cut off by a sudden punch to his kidneys. His knees buckled. "He's resisting," Rohr called out, though his voice wavered with uncertainty. What happened next was a blur of pain and fear. Darius felt the bite of the taser, electricity coursing through his body. He screamed as they threw him to the ground, his face scraping against the rough concrete. Blood trickled from his nose, mixing with tears. Mama! Somebody call my mama! Jernan's knee pressed into his back as handcuffs bit into his wrists. Shut up, boy! Crying for your mama now? Angela's voice rang out from the gathering crowd. This is wrong. He's just a kid. Back up, Roar warned the onlookers. This is police business. Carl Jennings stood in the doorway of his store, his face pale, hands gripping the doorframe. He wanted to speak up, to do more, but decades of ingrained caution held him back. Still, he couldn't tear his eyes away from the scene unfolding in his parking lot. They yanked Darius to his feet, blood dripping from his split lip. His basketball jersey was torn, smeared with dirt and blood. As they shoved him into the back of the police car, he caught a glimpse of Angela still filming, her face a mixture of fury and determination. The police car's engine roared to life. Through the window, Darius could see Carl Jennings shaking his head slowly. The old man's words were barely audible as the car pulled away. They just made the biggest mistake of their damn lives. Angela Ruiz looked down on her phone, the red recording light still blinking. Her finger hovered over the upload button, knowing this video could change everything. In the distance, police sirens faded into the humid Georgia night, carrying away a boy whose only crime was stopping for a soda after practice. Maya's pen scratched across paperwork in her quiet Atlanta apartment. The only sound besides the hum of her laptop, case files spread across her desk documented months of undercover work tracking corruption in local police departments. Her coffee had gone cold hours ago, forgotten in the rush to document every detail perfectly. Her phone buzzed again, the fifth time in 20 minutes. She'd been ignoring it, determined to finish her report. But this time the constant vibration made her glance over. 12 missed calls, 23 text messages. A shared video link titled Police Brutality in Mason Creek topped her notifications. Something cold settled in her stomach. Mason Creek, where Darius was. Her fingers trembled slightly when she clicked the link. The video loaded, grainy at first, then clear crystal. Her coffee mug slipped from her hand, shattering on the hardwood floor. There on her screen was Darius, her baby, being slammed against the police car. No, she whispered, watching in horror as officers threw him to the ground. No, no, no! Every cry from Darius felt like a physical blow. Every laugh from the officers made her blood boil hotter. When they tasered him, Maya's hand flew to her mouth, stifling a scream of rage. Her son's blood on concrete, his torn jersey, his terrified voice calling for her. Maya was moving before the video finished. She grabbed her gun from the safe, checking it with mechanical precision despite her shaken hands. Badge, keys, phone. Her mind raced through protocols and procedures, even as maternal fury threatened to overwhelm her. The elevator was too slow. She took the stairs 3 at a time, bursting into the parking garage. Her FBI-issued SUV chirped as she unlocked it. The engine roared to life, and she peeled out of the garage, lights flashing. 2 hours. 2 hours to reach Mason Creek. Too long. Her hands gripped the steering wheel until her knuckles went white. Memory flashes hit her as she drove, teaching Darius how to handle police encounters, drilling him on his rights, watching him practice saying yes sir and no sir in the mirror. All her careful preparation, all her protection, stripped away by 2 badges and systemic racism. Keep it together, she muttered to herself, weaving through traffic. Think like an agent. Document everything. She called her supervisor, leaving a detailed message about the situation. Next, she contacted her lawyer, then the Civil Rights Division. Each call was precise, professional, her voice betraying none of the fear and rage churning inside. The Mason Creek Police Department came into view just before midnight. A squat brick building with peeling paint and flickering fluorescent signs. Maya parked directly in front of the entrance, leaving her emergency lights flashing. Inside, the front desk officer barely looked up. "Can I help you?" "I'm here for Darius Colenton." Maya's voice was still in silk. "You have my son in custody." The officer sighed, bored.
Visiting hours are over. Come back tomorrow to post bail. I'm not here to visit. Maya's FBI badge slapped onto the desk. I'm here to take my son home now. The badge caught the fluorescent light, golden and official. The officer's eyes widened. Phones stopped ringing. Conversations died mid sentence. The entire precinct seemed to hold its breath. Uh, I'll get the chief. The officer stammered and scrambled from his desk. Maya stood perfectly still, counting breaths to stay calm. Her trained eye caught everything: security camera positions, officer nameplates, the subtle shifting of papers on desks. Evidence. All of it. Evidence. Chief Harland appeared, all Southern charm and pressed uniform. His smile never reached his eyes. Agent Cullington,